There was an old cottage at the edge of a small coastal village where the sea spoke in sighs and the sky forgot how to rush. The house had one crooked chimney, two foggy windows, and a lantern that never went out, no matter the wind, the rain, or the time of night. People didn't live there, at least not in the way neighbors thought of living. But they came, often in silence, often after something inside them had cracked. They came after loss, after failure. After silence stretched too long in their chest. Inside, the cottage smelled of wax and rosemary and memories. A single candle always burned in the center of the room, on an old table made from driftwood, etched with names long faded by time and salt. That candle was small, nothing ornate. Its flame swayed gently as if it breathed with the sorrow of those who entered, and it never went out. There were no signs, no keeper, but everyone who stepped inside knew this place was waiting for them. An old man with trembling hands came after burying the last friend who remembered his youth. He stood by the candle, lips moving without sound, then sighed. And as he stood, he felt a warmth settle on his shoulders, like arms that had once held him as a child. A single tear traced his cheek. A woman, barely out of girlhood, entered barefoot one stormy evening. Her heart had been broken not by love, but by the kind of betrayal that steals your name from your own lips. She sat near the candle and stared at its flame. Hours passed and she whispered, "I want to believe in goodness again." The flame pulsed brighter, not with fire but with tenderness. And from somewhere she couldn't name, a presence answered, "You were made from goodness. It can never leave you." She smiled, just barely, but it was her first in months. The village never spoke much of the cottage. It wasn't because they didn't believe in it. They simply knew that belief, when too loud, can scare away sacred things. They respected the silence. They honored the unseen. Children said they saw someone inside sometimes, a man with kind eyes who didn't speak but understood. Elderly folks said he had been there when they were children, and that his smile hadn't aged. Sailors claimed that, on the worst nights at sea, they dreamed of the cottage and the candle, and woke calm. And those who had truly lost, a spouse, a child, themselves, said that the moment they touched the cottage's door, something like peace washed over them. Not because things were fixed, but because they no longer had to hold everything alone. Because someone else held them too. One boy, no older than 10, wandered in holding a crumpled letter he couldn't bear to send. It was to his father, who had left. He laid it beside the candle and asked no one in particular, "Do you think he would have read it?" The candle flickered once, twice, and then burned steady, and the boy laughed. Not because he had the answer, but because he suddenly didn't need it. The candle didn't grant wishes. It didn't erase pain. It did something better. It bore witness. It said, "I see you." It whispered, "You matter." And in the quiet language only the soul understands, it breathed, "He is with you, even here." Over time, the candle's flame became something of a legend, a symbol, a mystery wrapped in stillness. But to those who had ever stood in its light, it was more than myth. It was the place they first believed they weren't alone, the place they remembered what it meant to be held. And though they left always, they carried the flame in their chest, not as fire, but as hope. Hope that lights even the darkest corners. Hope that, once seen, never forgets the way back.